Hey friends, it's Wilk, and before we get started with this week's episode, I want to mention a couple things real quick about a couple affiliates. Affiliates help me keep the show going, and by you using the services of one of our affiliates, I get a little kickback at no extra cost to you. So if you've ever thought about starting a podcast, Buzzsprout is a great place to start. They have some phenomenal tools, and starting a podcast is a lot easier when you've got the right tools. So join over 100,000 other people who've started a podcast with Buzzsprout, and if you click the link to them in our show notes, I'll get a little bit of something for every paid membership. So I would really appreciate that. Helps a lot to support the show. Also, online grocery shopping, it's a big thing right now, especially with the pandemic and the lockdowns and people, being sketchy about going out in the public. If you want to do some grocery shopping at home in a quick, convenient way and have that stuff delivered to your house, check out Instacart. Instacart is a phenomenal way for people to buy groceries online and have them conveniently delivered to their house. So, again, in our show notes, check out one of the banner ads, check out the links. Instacart is a great way to do a little bit of online grocery shopping and have it conveniently delivered to your house. So with that, we're going to dive right into the show. Welcome back, my friends, to the D-Rate the Hate podcast. I'm Wilk from wilksworld.com, and this is going to be episode 28 of our podcast, and this one is going to be called There Was a Time. Now, the reason I'm calling this There Was a Time is because I've seen a lot of, I'm a member of a lot of groups online, and I listen to people and their questions and things that, listen to things that they're struggling with and try to help them figure out things when I can. And when I can, I like to read the answers that other people are coming up with to try and help people out, right? And one of the questions that I'm hearing a lot lately, or a common theme that I'm hearing a lot lately is, this happened to me in my past, and I don't know how to get past it, and I was in this relationship, or I did this thing, and how do I get past this and make my future bright? Well, obviously, our goal at the D-Rate the Hate podcast, for anybody who's listened for any length of time, our main motto is bettering the world one attitude at a time, and one of the things that we talk about all the time is how we as individuals can make our lives better. That's why I ask the questions every week. What have you done today to make your life a better life? What have you done today to make the world a better place? One of the things that we have to do, and one of the things that we always have to remember, is it is up to us to make each day the day that we want it to be. That's why I wrap up the show with that comment, or that statement, rather. Well, I'm going to get very real in this episode, because one of the things that I struggle with most, and one of the things that I've struggled with most my whole life, is, what did I do wrong in the past that I could have done differently? And one of the things that I have to tell myself constantly in order to be happy today is that there's nothing I can do to change what happened yesterday. The only thing I can do is change how I am as a person and the things that I do going forward. So today, I want to call this, like I said, episode 28 is going to be called There Was a Time, because we all have things in our life, whether it be events that we are a part of, or things that we have done, maybe things that have been done to us, things that we've done to other people. Life is about time and the things that happen to us over time. And again, we have to realize that what has happened has happened. It's done and gone. And we have to learn from those things that happened over the time period that we've been on this earth, the time that we've lived our life. But we cannot let the things, and like one person that I was talking to earlier this week, we cannot allow the things that have happened, the things that we can no longer control, because let's face it, if it's happened, it's done, it's over. There's residual effects of almost everything that happens in our life, but we cannot control what has happened. We can only control what we can control, and the past is in the past. So I don't care if it's somebody that we knew, or something that we've done, or something that was done to us. Those things are all things that they're out of our control now. They're gone. Time has gone by. We have moved on. We are only able to control what's going to happen in the future. And even that, we're not able to control everything. So we always want to make sure we can control everything that we can control and accept the things that we can't. Okay. One of the prayers that has meant the most to me over the course of my life, and most people know it, is the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Well, let's break that down. Look at this. What's happened in the past, we no longer have any control over. It is in the past. It's a time gone by. There was a time. So when I look at my past, and like I said, I'm going to be very real with you here. One of the biggest struggles that I have in my life is looking back on the things that I've done and wondering what I could have done different, or wondering, whether it be a past friendship or a past relationship or a past job or a chance meeting that I had with somebody. What could I have done differently in that situation to make things better? Did I make situations worse than they needed to be? Did I treat somebody badly? Those are all questions that I think we all ask ourselves, and some people dwell on those things more than others. It is certainly a struggle that I have had to deal with my whole life. Looking at past relationships, and I don't mean just intimate relationships. I mean friendships, relationships, people that I knew in passing. Did I deal with that person the right way? Did I fully understand what they were there for in that period of my life? I think we all know that throughout our lives. Quick sidebar here. I've seen a couple little memes online about something to the effect. I think a couple of them had the group of kids from the movie The Sandlot, or another one of them had the group of kids from the movie Stand By Me. Both movies entirely different generations, but two phenomenal movies and even better books. But I think the meme said something to the effect, would you have done things differently, or there was there came a point in time in everybody's life when they hung out with all their friends for one last time and didn't know it. And I've seen all kinds of different sayings, something to that effect, right? So, when you're somebody like me who thinks a lot about the past, you think about those things and you think about those people and the last time you got to hang out with a certain person. Another very real part of my past is a good portion of the people that meant the most to me over the course of my life are now past and gone. I'm not a very old guy, and I've had some people that are very close to me die in unfortunate circumstances, and all death is unfortunate, but some things happened, and some people that were taken way too soon from this world, and I think about the last time that I hung out with those particular people, that last conversation that I had with them. Would I have done things different had I known that was going to be the last time I saw them or the last time I talked to them? People that I've had in my life, friends that I've lived, I've lived a number of places in the country. I've spent a lot of time traveling around the country doing different things, whether it be personal or for work or whatever. And I think about people that I spent time with, and I do think about them and wonder, were they really that a big part of my life, and was I a big part of their life? I think about certain things like, maybe I meant more to them than they meant to me, or vice versa. They meant more as a friend to me than I meant to them, or things like that. Those are battles I think that a lot of people face, and I'm seeing a lot more of that stuff nowadays, and people are having a hard time confronting that. And all I have to say is, and I go back to my original point with that, there was a time, but that time was in the past. That time has come and gone. There is nothing we can do to change that time. What we have to do is appreciate what we learned from that relationship, from that situation. Like I said, people in certain jobs, or people in certain situations, or chance meetings they had with a certain person. We cannot change what has happened in the past. We can only take that experience, use the wisdom that we have gained from that experience, and use that to better our future. Use that to better today. Like I said, and I always say, the Derate the Hate podcast is all about bettering the world one attitude at a time. And the reality is it's up to us to make each day the day that we want it to be. We have to better our lives so that we can be a better person, and actually bettering our lives comes with being a better person, and vice versa. And one of the ways to do that is not to dwell on the past. We cannot stay stuck in the past if we ever hope to have a positive future. So, look back with fondness on the things that we can appreciate and should appreciate. Look back with a open mind and trying to figure out what we did in the past that was maybe bad, or maybe somebody that we mistreated, or things like that. Use that chunk of your past to make a better future, right? So, this is going to be another short episode of the Derate the Hate podcast, but I do have to say, there was a time, but don't let that time in the past dictate how your future goes. Use the wisdom that you've gained. Make your life a better life by making tomorrow a better day. All right, with that, we're going to dive into this week's feel-good story. Everybody knows I love to bring a story to you about extraordinary people, or ordinary people doing extraordinary things. I generally try to pick a feel-good story that many would not see in our doom and gloom national news media. They're usually local stories about. I love it when I see kids doing great things, and this is no exception. This is a great story about a youngster named Oren Jean. Or actually, excuse me, I read that wrong the first time. His name is Orion Jean. Orion, like Orion's belt, I believe. He's a fifth grader from North Texas who, throughout this pandemic that we've been facing, we all know there's a lot of people out there that have fallen on hard times. And this youngster, Orion Jean, out of North Texas, has made it his goal, his personal goal, to donate 100,000 meals to those in need before Thanksgiving. This young man is totally ambitious. He was interviewed, I think, by CNN, and I got this story off it's called the goodnewsnetwork.org website, and young Orion Jean told them, "I'm asking everyone to join me in a race to kindness. It's been a rough year for everybody, and now it's more important than ever to show your support and love to anyone who needs it." So this young man is doing great things. I love a story about a young man or a young child that is doing extraordinary things. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and that's the thing that we need to do. We have to spread the love. We have to spread the positivity, and by bringing these stories to our listeners, I hope it's doing just that. So if you want to hear more about young Orion Jean's story and his race to kindness, check out our show notes. Pick up that link in our show notes from the Good News Network and read more about it. And in some way, if you can, donate to the cause. This young man is doing great things, and he's got an incredibly bright future ahead of him, and we love him for it. So with that, I am going to wrap up this week's episode of the Derate the Hate podcast, episode 28. There was a time. Don't let those things that happened in your past dictate your future. Learn from them. Grab them. Grab those chunks of wisdom. Take your bumps. Learn your lessons. And move forward with a positive life. What have you done today to make your life a better life? What have you done today to make the world a better place? It all starts with you. So when you get out there, when you're out amongst the people, be kind to one another. Be grateful for everything that you've got. And remember, it's up to you to make each and every day the day that you want it to be. So from all of us here at Wilkes World, I am Wilk. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate all the support. You guys are great. Check us out wherever you get your audio. Subscribe to our show. Leave us a rating, 5-star hopefully. and share us with your friends. Share us on all forms of social media. But with all that, I'm going to say thank you very much, and I'm going to back on out of here. We'll catch you next week.